Hello everyone, this is Jeannie, also known as Scrapbooking Mama. The other day I had done a project challenge share for design team for paper Temptress, and Miss Patricia, who owns that company, asked me if I would do a tutorial on it. And of course I'm going to use paper Temptress paper because it is really the best I've ever used. It works very well with a lot of mediums. So anyway, I'm going to do a pocket letter. This is the one that I did for the challenge, the design team challenge, and it's a Christmas swap that I was doing, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do one for the swap and using the papers, which, you know, it came out really well. The colors are really vibrant. So what you start out with is, of course, you get baseball cards, protector sheets, and they come 9 pockets, and you can get them just about anywhere. I got those at Hobby Lobby. And what I'm going to do today, and this is going to be new for me because I've done embossing before, but I'm going to use it on some of the papers today that I've not used yet because I'm a new design team member, so there's a lot out there yet I haven't used. So I'm going to do some embossing. Of course, you need your embossing tray, your Versamark or embossing ink. You need embossing powder and, of course, a stamp. And I've not used this one either. This stamp is a Prima Debutante. So, first thing that you want to do, let me move this aside. I have a lot of space here, and yet I feel like I'm always crowded, and yet I have a lot of countertop. So you'd think I wouldn't be crowded feeling. Anyway, get your paper trimmer, because what you're going to do is take a sheet of paper, and if I can open up my trimmer, there we go. And I've been doing some other crafts, so I see those pieces of others here. Each sheet is going to be, or each card is going to be 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So I always start out with the smaller cut size first. And you're going to need, I'm using 3 sheets. Let me back up a little bit. I'm using 3 sheets. You can use as many as you want. And it's much better if you use double-sided, because if you don't do double-sided, then you're going to have to do some kind of decoration to the other side of your pocket, the back side. So what I'm using is the Cryogen White Iridescent. I'm also using the Amethyst. I don't know if you can see the shine or not. Oh, there we go. Very pretty shine to it. And this is the Amethyst from the Mica Metallic group, paper line. And this one is called Script Tees. It's a screen print by Hambley Studios, and she sells those on her site also. So the first thing you're going to do is take a sheet of paper and cut it at the 2.5 inch mark first. It really doesn't take a lot of paper unless you do what I do and don't cut it right. I need to change out my blade, and I haven't done that yet. And then you cut it 3.5. And you need 3 of those. I'm doing 3 different colors. You don't have to do 3 different colors. You can do 2. You can even do 1. You know, and it doesn't have to be solid paper. It can be printed as long as, you know, it's got color or some kind of coloring or something on both sides. Otherwise, like I said, you're going to have to decorate the back side. So there's my white. 3 of them at 2.5 by 3.5. Now I'm going to do my Amethyst Metallic. And I gotta tell you, I'm one of the sloppiest crafters probably around. But it gets the work done. Okay, again, 3 of them. I'll make sure it was cut before I did that. Pulled it out. probably won't, as far as right now as it stands, I probably won't do a, complete pocket, but I just want to make sure that you see what, how to go about doing this. And with the screen prints, there is a little piece down below that gives you the title, which that, I'm glad it does that because, well, because in that way I can know what size I'm using or what kind I'm using, what the brand is and everything. So it's a little longer than I thought it was going to be on the other side too. So I'm going to go ahead and do this cut. There we go. I love the script tease paper. It's got a little shine to it too. And so I thought, well, that'll go really, really well with the metallic sheet I've got. Okay, 3.5. I'm one of those that I'm very forgetful what kind of paper it is, and I have to have notes and little tabs or something like that. I'm getting ready to reorganize my paper just for that reason, so I can make sure I remember what is what. Sometimes I pull out paper without looking first to see what it is, and I go, oh dear. And then I have to call Miss Patricia and say, what kind of paper was that again? She's really knowledgeable on her papers. So there I have 9 pieces of paper. They can be cardstock. They can be like a heavy-duty paper. This is not a real thin paper, and it's even translucent. But I really thought it'd go really well with this. So the next step I do is I am going to go ahead and emboss these 3 pieces of the purple. And I'm going to do them all the same because they're not necessarily going to be lined up purple, white, and then the script tees, it could be all over. I really haven't decided yet, but that's the way I do it. I just kind of do it as I go along. So let's see how we do here. Let me get my tray. And then I have a really awesome piece of stamp tool that it helps you keep everything even. Let's see how well it does today for me. Since I'm demonstrating, a lot of times it works differently when I'm demonstrating than when it does when I'm doing it by myself. Okay. A lot of times I'm standing up and doing all my work because it seems like it's easier for me to stand up. You want to do this each, put the ink on each time. And I know I probably don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to go ahead and do one at a time. It's just the way my brain thinks. Let's see how well I did here. I probably was out of line there, out of the focus of the camera. And I'm using the Ranger embossing, and this is supposed to be silver. And what's cool about this is that it looks white at first, but then when you put it on and heat it up, then it turns silver. Okay, now I'm going to heat emboss it. And let's just see what it looks like on this beautiful silver purple paper. Oh. it came out really, really pretty. Let's see if you can see that. That is beautiful on that paper. I was going to use gold, and I thought, you know, silver might be better. So my pocket letter is going to be more of a vintage by the time I'm done with it. But I'll go ahead and do certain steps with you on this and show it to you, what the basis is, basic knowledge of it. Because the design elements are all going to be up to you, what type of theme you're doing, you know, so it just depends on what you're doing. Always make sure you put your lid back on your Versamark, or it's going to dry the pad out, and you don't want that. So here we go again. Well, it might help to have some powder on it, I guess, wouldn't it? Now let's see what it does. There we go. Yes, I do things like that all the time. Normally, I would use something that's has a powder, a little bag that's got a powder. I can't for the life of me remember what the name of it is now. But I normally would use a little bag that's got powder in it, and I would put it on top of here first. That way you don't get excess powder in spots you don't want. I really do like the Ranger embossing powder a lot. And this paper seems to really, really take to it. So that's a good thing, very good thing. Okay, let's see if I can do this one right. And I may not even have to ink it up again, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, now my embossing powder. Don't want to forget that again. I have never seen embossing powder take so easily to a paper before. I mean, it just kind of like, you know, adheres really easily and quickly. So that's really a good thing. So, very good paper. So now I need to clean off my stamp. I just use a baby wipe on it, and I don't get the expensive kind. I get an inexpensive kind. I mean, you know, they all work really well. And now I need to put up my powder. And I usually make a mess with it, even though it's got a funnel on it. I make a mess. Maybe today I won't. There we go. If you don't have a funnel, a piece of paper would do just fine. Okay, now, before I go and put these into the pocket. I just want to make sure they're nice and dry really, really well. So now I need to get my other papers, and I need to decide this here. These the script tees. I don't need to do anything with it because it's got the decoration in it already. So, and that's the one reason I picked it was because of that. Okay, now let's see. I've got to decide what I want to do with this. I thought I had it all planned out, but apparently I didn't. Okay, now I have a little heart that goes with the debutante. And I used to have a little acrylic block, but I don't know what in the world happened to it, so I'm just going to go ahead and work with it like that. And I'm thinking I might go ahead and stick with the silver. I'm pretty sure I'll go ahead and do that. Get back my tool here. It's by Physics, and I can't remember the exact name of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do these three. Or I could do another color. Let's see. This is the whole process of, when you're doing something, you may have something in your mind that you want to do, but then something may come along to change your mind. So let's see what I got over here. Okay, here's an ink called Shaded Lilac by Temptress. So I think that's what I'm going to use. I'm not going to do the Versamark on this. I'm just going to go ahead and use a regular distress ink. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell if I have the right colors in here or not. So I'm just going to kind of be sporadic with this. Semi-sporadic, I should say. You can take it off of the edge a little bit. And let's see what I want to do here. There. And that really went on really easily too with this paper. Okay, this time I'm going to start kind of in the middle. They don't have to be all the same. Just like it's a printed sheet of paper. When you cut on it, you're not going to have all the marks on it evenly. The design on it. Let's see. Right here. Can't tell you how easy that was to put on there. I think I'm going to get less careful and get a little more random on here. Just plop it on there and see what happens. Okay. I'm happy with that. So again, I'm going to clean it off. So now all of my paper is ready to go, has a design to it. And if I wanted to, I could probably distress it because vintage has that look to it, where it has a distressed look to it. So I'm going to get one that's called, I believe, Tea Stain. It's a tea dye. And it's also by Temptress. And I think, oops, see, I'm pretty messy. I told you. I had a piece of paper in that. let me go ahead and get this taken care of off of the pad because now it's kind of in my way. So, okay, now let's see how this looks. This is the tea dye from Tim Holtz Distress Ink. I'm just going to distress the edges. Because this vintage shabby chic has that. They have a lot of lace and a lot of, it's kind of, you know, to me, it's kind of a vintage shabby chic is kind of a gaudy look to it. I don't get quite too gaudy with it because I don't like that, but I mean, too gaudy just seems like it takes away from what the purpose of it is. If you do too gaudy, you want to be able to see your work. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Okay. Anyway, I think this color goes really well with it, and it pretty well goes with the striptease paper. It looks like too. So. I may distress the other side too. And I don't know if he'll distress on that purple, the amethyst, but we'll try and see. Okay, those are done. It looks like it will. Takes very well. Depends on how much you put on it. This is a good, solid piece of paper. And it's shiny on both sides, not just the one side. A lot of papers you can get and they're shiny on one side, but not the other side. But this is shiny on both sides. The purpose of a pocket letter, which was created by Jeanette Lang, you can go to her website. It's pocketletterpals.com and join in a group there. But the purpose was, for her to do something that was fairly simple and easy, for someone to get like a letter from or something. It was just something she simplified. I don't know if this is really adhering with the ink on this one. Let me see. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's just it will show a little bit, but not too much. But since I've already done this one, I'm going to go ahead and do the others. I'm going to kind of go along the edge of it like this. Maybe that'll help. And I know you probably can't see this, but I can. So this is like a vellum paper feel is what it feels like to me. It probably is in that line too. It's in the screen print. I love the screen prints like this. This is between this and the metallic paper. Those are probably my favorites. And they also have different lines. If you go papertemptress.com, you'll see a lot of different types of paper she's got there. She's also got a Facebook page, and go there and just search for Paper Temptress, and you'll come up with a public group there, and that's her. I can always read more later if I want to. Okay, now basically I can call it done if I want to, as far as the decorating and all that kind of stuff. So before I really decide what I'm going to do next, I go ahead and get me my sheet out, and I probably will do the 3 colors together, but I'm going to experiment and see what I can come up with this way. And the pockets open up on one side only. Let's see what this looks like. Sometimes I experiment like this, and then I wind up totally changing out what I was going to do. And it winds up being the 3 colors in each section together instead of separated like what I'm doing now. If I can get hold of it. There we go. See, sometimes I get myself thrown up and I go, that doesn't look right. And you can do all the same colors, the whole sheet, if you want to. You don't have to. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, see, that's not coming out right the way I want it to. So, instead of keep on going and deciding over and over what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do like I normally do. And I'm going to put the 3 up here. There's a lot of different ways that you can do your decorate and everything, but a theme of your pocket letter usually is what I go for, like Christmas, or which you saw that I did that. And then there's I guess I'd have to turn it in right side up. I'm very good at doing those kind of things. I have been known to stamp things upside down and then, or had it right, but then when I put something on the other side, I'd had it upside down, so it had one side down, one side up. Okay. And there's the basis to the pocket letters. And that's all you have to do. I guess it has down a little bit. But usually what you do also is put a little note in there about yourself. Usually someone puts in and this one's a little full. I might have to redo that one because it's a little full. But you put like hello on one side. You can put it here. You can put it anywhere. Usually I put mine over here, hello or hi over here. But I did it on this way on purpose because I wanted to raise it up a little bit, so it needed to be in the center then. And then a little note about yourself in here. And this is how I did mine. There's different ways to do that. Some people have it to where it looks like a little envelope with the red and blue colors all around it. It looks like a little envelope, which I love that too. But I already have this in my computer set this way, so I'm just going to continue using it. And in each pocket in the back on the other ones, you can put a tea bag in one if you want to. And that a lot of times that's what people do, is put a tea bag in one of them. But I've been doing a lot lately where I just put little goodies in it, like this little sheet of rhinestone stickers, and then I put some metal pieces that she can emboss these metal pieces. She can decorate them with pearls and rhinestones, whatever she wants to do. And then I've got some little rhinestones here and the sticker candy cane. And then I've got a pearl in here that I made. I've been making little brooches for embellishments. I've been making these, and I've got some more to make. It's itching in me to do it now. But anyway, you can put just about anything, stickers and tags, whatever you want to put in the back as a gift to the person. You could put ribbon and laces in there and go with that. So, and let me see if I can find a ribbon that I want to use with that. I have a whole slew of ribbon from her. She's got beautiful ribbon. And this one's got gold to it. I may still use it. Doesn't really matter that much. You can use just about any ribbon to it. You can use cream color. But anyway, she's sent the design team a lot of goodies, and she's really, really good at answering any of my questions. I've been very pleased with her responses and quickness to answer. So anyway, I will decorate this up, And then when I'm done, I'll put it on the end of this video. Thank you. God bless and have a great day.